Hey, hey!
G'day, g'day.
Welcome to the Simple Joys.
She's simple and I'm Joy. Okay, we just wanted to do another vlog together. I think we should do this at least once a week.
No, make it Sunday nights.
Okay. Sunday nights, couple nights. And maybe even if any of the subscribers want to do Q&A for us.
Yeah.
Through the week, if you want to leave us any questions on any of the videos we put up, or even this one, and then next week when we do it again we'll answer them for you. If you either want to ask Colette a question or me a question, or either of us or both of us, or a topic, anything you want, we'll give it a crack.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
What's tonight?
Sunday night.
Sunday night for us in Australia. So I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend.
We've had a fairly quiet weekend. We weren't sure whether we're going to do random questions. We're not sure what we're going to speak about at the moment.
Just thought we'd turn the camera on and let it happen.
I tried vlogging earlier today on my mobile phone, but the picture quality wasn't that great, so we scrapped that. So this is our second attempt at trying to upload something, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but we're back onto the camera.
Yeah.
Which has got the googly eyes, and Muff Man, or Crazy Cameraman.
He needs a hairbrush though. His hair's a bit messy.
I'm going to give him a name. Carl the Crazy Cameraman, or Willie the Wind Muff. Have a vote if you want a name for it. Put a name up. If you just want to come up for a name for it, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
This cup, too, I don't know if you noticed this cup I drink, it says, "I love my dad, even though he farts." So, that's a cup one of the boys got me for Christmas.
And I got this one. I'm not bossy, I just have better ideas.
Yeah, I thought I'd better clarify that, just so you knew I didn't love my dad. And hers is spot on. Thanks for the comments we've had through the week too. It's great to get the comments we have. We've got a few comments on videos we put up, like Colette's collection of uranium glass.
Yep.
Carly from Carly's Cubs was saying she got a bit nostalgic, reminded her of her nana.
Yeah. You could probably start your own collection, go around to second-hand shops and try and find some.
Yeah. Like most of the things we buy and collect, all of it's done on the cheap.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got much income. We're on a really low budget, so anything we do have is either got through a bargain or it's just taken us a long time to get.
Or we normally go around to different shops and find good bargains and on sale.
Yeah. It's not very often we buy brand new stuff.
No. A lot of our stuff is all second hand.
We did go to the cheap shop a couple of days ago though.
Yeah. Spent $70 odd.
Well, no, it's like well, we call them $2 shops, but you know, it's got anything from $1 to $20 things in it really, but the majority of things are $2. So we've always called them $2 shops, but man, doesn't it add up quick?
It does. Very much so.
Yeah. But one thing we did get was this light box. I was going to wait till the end of the vlog, and then because I've got the camera sitting just where I want it at the moment, and with our black backdrop and everything, it's really good. So I'll leave it for now. But towards the end of the vlog, I'll pick the camera up and show you the little light box we picked up.
Yep.
And also the Muff Man.
Okay. Well, how about we talk about?
Melissa from the Kiwi family a while back asked us about supernatural encounters and ghosts.
Yeah.
So we could have a quick talk on that if you want.
How about if we cover, because something that we experienced together was the UFO.
Yeah.
So we could cover that.
Yeah. Do you want some mood lighting? Give it a go.
Okay, see how we go. Many years ago, before we even had kids, Grant was working for a house thrift dumper.
And yeah, I was just labouring.
Yeah.
So it was 23 years ago, roughly.
Roughly. And I had to go out and pick him up from work. So I took this road and there was no dramas, and then once I picked him up we started to head back, and it was probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, roughly.
Yeah, well, you picked me up just going on dark, so by the time we were on the road it was dark, and I'd finished a long day labouring, digging holes and whatnot.
We had a dog, a Rottweiler at the time, and he went everywhere. He was our baby.
Yeah, we didn't have kids then, so he was our baby.
Yeah, so he was in the back seat and I was driving, and Grant was in the passenger seat on the way back to our place. And it was an old, lonely country road, and we were just coming down.
Yeah. If anyone's keen, they can look it up. It was Walkaraka Connection Road.
Yeah.
I remember it because it was a nice long stretch between the two highways, and so you could see a fair way.
And it was my first car. I had a little Datsun 120Y.
Tiny little thing it was, eh?
Yeah. And we were coming down this hill, and I was doing about 100k. I don't know what that is in miles.
Oh, roughly 70 mile,
yeah.
80 mile, I think, just guessing.
And I saw this light in the distance, and it started heading towards us.
Yeah, well, I saw it too at exactly the same time. I just assumed it was a motorbike.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It was a single white light, just like a big old road bike, like a Harley or something.
Yeah.
You know, right towards the end of the road, heading towards us.
Yeah.
I was sort of almost standing still at the end of the road.
Yeah, it was like a motorbike light, and it was coming towards us, and it seemed to speed up. So I started to slow down because it looked like it was heading straight for us. So I slowed down to about 80k. So that's probably about 40 miles.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. And
50 miles.
It wasn't diverting on its course or its path.
Yeah, but it still wasn't anything too much out of the ordinary at that stage.
No, it just looked like a motorbike.
Just that it was speeding up, starting to come towards us.
And,
but then what happened next was really weird.
Yeah, so I saw it coming, and it was still coming towards us. The dog in the back was starting to get a little bit restless, and I slowed down and braced for impact because it wasn't going anywhere, and it was flying towards us now. It was speeding up.
But it was sort of in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And it went from sort of like one big white light. It's funny, it almost sort of
spread out,
swooped down and spread out into like edge lights around it. The closest thing I can think of is the skirting lights on a truck or a lorry.
Yeah.
How you get like at least 8 lights around a good sized truck going around the edges. Similar to that. So we didn't actually see, you know, a spaceship or anything. It was definitely a UFO in that it was unidentifiable.
Yeah.
And it was flying at that stage. It was really started to hit good speeds.
And you couldn't see any other structure. You couldn't see an outline of a car. You couldn't see an outline of a motorbike. All you could see was lights. And as I said, we braced for impact, and I slowed right down. And then all of a sudden, it disappeared.
At that stage too, because it all happened so quick, everything was sort of bang, bang, bang after another. Like the dog was getting really wound up in the back seat too. He was a really soft-natured dog at the best of times anyway, a big Roddy, that was our baby. And he started whimpering and carrying on, like he was really worked up, pacing back and forth across the back seat. You know, within the space of 20 seconds, he'd gone across a few times and really whimpering by this stage. And the skirting lights that I was talking about seemed to get really low to the ground, and it was just sort of like an outline that went from each side of the road, so it took up the whole road in front of us. So whatever it was, we definitely had the impression that it was going to be smashing into us at any second.
Yeah.
And that's when it just disappeared.
It disappeared.
It was almost like it picked up enough speed that it went faster than the speed of light, like we couldn't see it anymore. And I sort of leaned forward and tried looking up above us to see whether it had just shot up above us, but I couldn't see anything.
There was nothing behind us, there was nothing beside us.
All of a sudden it was just complete darkness on this old lonely road again.
Yeah. And so that was our experience, and it was frightening. And like, my father worked at an Air Force base at the time, so...
And that wasn't too far from there.
No. So when I got home, I rang him and left it with him to find out whether there was anything in the area. And they reckon there was no planes, or they weren't testing anything.
There's no way it would have been a plane.
No.
On them, like a vehicle, public road anyway.
No.
But you didn't mention one of the weirdest bits right at the end. After that, we got onto the highway and
drove off.
Like, we were still peeking out between the two of us. We were just glad that we were with each other, because if one of us had seen it by ourselves, we'd have a hard time believing it.
Yeah.
But you know, everything Colette said to me, I backed up what I'd seen, and everything I said to her backed up what she'd seen.
Yeah. So we got out onto the highway.
Yeah.
And drove through...
Yeah, doing at least 100k down the highway.
Yeah.
Through roundabouts. Back home about 15 minutes later, we got out the car. And when I stood out of the car...
There was his work boots sitting on the top of the car. And we make a joke about it, saying that they were looking for intelligent life forms. And then the boots on they saw the boots and thought, no, they're not very intelligent.
So I just, what? It took a couple of seconds for me to register what had happened. When Colette had picked me up, when I got in the car, I'd sat my work boots on the roof of the car getting in.
Yeah.
And I'd forgot. I'd closed the door, hopped in, and that's where they sat. Now these were just old work boots. Granted, they were heavy, like steel caps, because that's what I used to wear.
Sorry about that. Our camera keeps falling asleep, so we've had to do a retake because we thought we were recording, but the camera was asleep. So now we have to come back to... The boots were heavy.
It's funny, this is the first time it's ever happened with the camera too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, after all that, what we'd been through on the road, we got home and those old boots of mine were still sitting on the roof. So that just blew my mind, how they managed to stay on the roof through those sort of speeds down the highway. And then once we got off the highway, we'd been through roundabouts and then dirt tracks to get to our place.
Yeah.
So it was just a weird night all up.
And for a long time after, like when we would tell people the story about it, your skin would get crawl with goosebumps, and as we've gotten older, I think we've just...
Yeah. Well, we stopped even really talking about it or telling anyone years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we know because we were both there and both saw it and both saw exactly the same thing, so we got no doubt. The only question is, what was it? Yeah. And we'll never know that. No. And like... Unless it comes back for us one day.
maybe we ought to chip in the back of our head.
Fish and chips.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was our experience, and it was frightening at the time, but I'm glad that we have had it so we can tell stories like this.
Yeah.
Because not everybody gets to experience it, and it was fun that we got to experience it together.
Yeah, and it was just completely, you know, we just couldn't come up with a reason or what it could be, or it just, none of it made sense. It was just... No. Just completely illogical and made no sense whatsoever. And
it had to have been something, because the way that the dog was freaking out in the back, like if the dog was settled and wasn't freaking out, then
and nothing overtook us. There was nothing in the rear vision mirror or anything like that. It's just once it got, you know, just in front of us, disappeared, gone.
And we weren't high or anything, so it wasn't an illusion.
That was later on when we got home. No.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yep, okay, so thanks for listening.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed it. Just one of the stories from our past. and that's it. I'll put some lights on.
So, thank you for watching.
Hopefully we'll get this up soon, and another couple of videos to come. And please leave comments.
Like,
yeah. Make sure you hit the like for us. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and we'll do our best to keep them coming. Any comments, questions, whatever you want to put in the comments, go for it, and we'll do our best to interact with you. Thank you.
Take time for the simple
joys.
joys. Bye. The camera keeps falling to sleep, so I think it's nearly time for it to go to bed. But before we do,
it must need recharging.
Before we do, we'll show you the Muff Man. It's not great lighting. So we haven't named him yet.
He has got eyes though now. The office has been really good since we moved in here too.
Yeah.
Just while we got the camera turned around, I'll show you this light box we picked up at the cheap shop. There you go, the Simple Joys. Now that came with a heap of letters too, so we're going to play around with that and see what we can do with the letters, but for now we just put those ones up. And behind it is just a cheap little rope light I picked up from a second hand shop as well. It's only like, literally $2.
And then behind us we've just got a black sheet as a background.
And an extra lamp up here. So we're just trying to get it.
It's bright.
Oh, bright light. Just trying to get it a little bit better for our vlogs, or you know, at least this weekly talk.
Yeah.
So we can just have a little bit better lighting and backing and audio and everything, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, come close. So, thank you for watching our Sunday night vlogs, and have a great week.
Have a good week. If you like the videos, please hit the thumbs up, give them a like, subscribe to the channel, and
comment.
Yeah, we love comments. We'll always try and answer back for anything, or if you've got questions, we'll answer them happily next week on this sort of vlog. Alright, thanks very much, and take time for the simple joys.
Bye.
Bye.